What's up, fools? Brent with AOB. 61. Let's go. $1,134. Yes, we had a really nice session yesterday. 75 bucks. And let's see what we can do today. All right, let's get underway here. All right, we are on the Prague speed table. I'm going to start us off. My plan for today is 3 to 4 sessions. It might be 4 today. My idea is the first session here, I'm going to just kind of take it easy. I'm not going to take any huge risk. I'm just going to play the way we did initially. I'm going to play controlled chaos to start out. I've given myself 8 progressions. And then the second and the third sessions, if we do there, I might get a little bit daring and go back and play a little bit more 5 double streets, some 9 streets, 2 dozens, and then when I come back for the 4th session, we'll rope it back down. Now, on the 3rd session, we are just doing phenomenally or really poorly. We'll just call it quits, but I'm going to see if I can't get to that 4th session, and then we'll come in and we'll just play. We'll lower our unit sizes. We'll play. That's a good time to just check out other strategies that you like, but that you don't play that much, and pull down the bet quite a bit. I like doing that. So that's the plan for today. Awesome. 0. We always like that. All right. So we are in. So I'm using 30-cent units right now. And with 30-cent units, you see here, that gives us, on our 5th progression, we would be down 27.90. We go all the way up to 8 progressions if we want to. So what I might do, because remember, you don't have to stay on the same strategy for recovery. You don't have to keep hitting it until you finally do win, right? So, all right, that's 2. We're on our 3rd progression. And here we go. So my thoughts are, if you look at what I've highlighted here, you'll see that that's the 5th progression. Let's go over here a little bit more there. That's the 5th progression. We would be down 27.90. So I'm thinking if I get to the 5th progression and I lose, I'm down 27.90. I might opt instead to either take a break. I might opt to go to 5 double streets. I'm not sure yet. But I've just given myself those options. But right now I'm just going to stick to the plan. We have 8 progressions, which is not a lot when you're talking about playing half the board outside of 0. Okay. So if you're going to play this, I'm okay with 8, but barely okay. I would really prefer 10, 12 progressions, actually. We've seen it. If you get in our Discord, if you play this long enough, you'll run into some serious long losing streaks. All right, so what was that? That was 360. So, all right, we're at 720. If I pull up my bets again, that would be, if we lose this one and one more, I'll probably look to pull the plug and go to 5 double streets at that point and see if we can recover. And what will happen is, as soon as I go to 5 double streets, whatever my bet would have been on control chaos, it'll end up being a banger. Okay, this is it. It's doing it to us right now. That last bet, 720. All right, 1440. This is our last bet right here on controlled chaos. And if I get whacked on this one, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to 5 double streets. Whether I play, I'll probably go ahead and continue with play 5 double streets deja vu, and we'll see what happens. Oh, but we don't need it. But it's nice to know your plan before that spin is finished, right? So I gave myself some options, and that's okay. But if you're the kind that have trouble making split-second decisions, just decide before you get in there. Just decide before you get in there what you're even going to do. Sorry about the video yesterday. If like session 2 and 3, the audio sounds a little bit weird, like on me or whatnot, it's because for some reason, when I was recording, I don't know how, because my settings didn't change between the first session and the next session, but it captured normally I'm playing music so low that you guys can't pick it up. I'm the kind of person, I need music. I really do. I like my music. I don't do well in really quiet environments. And that's not because I need to look at my phone. I just, When I go to sleep at night, I prefer noise. When I'm really concentrating, I prefer noise. Okay, it's doing it to us, boy. It's really ping-ponging us. Come on, man. All right, here we go. 360. So I always usually have music playing really low, so low that the filters and stuff on my microphone filter it out. Somehow it picked it up. So I had to use, in the video editing software I use, it has a noise scrubber. So I had to run the noise scrubber through those last 2 sessions out of the 3 sessions, and it removed the background, most of it, because what happens is when I uploaded it to YouTube the first time, it caught all those, gosh dang, this table's wanting to ping pong. All right, we got 2 more hits here. We got 2 more hits. This thing's just been going back and forth since we got here. I was looking at the table. It was doing great on nice runs. As soon as we start playing, boom. I mean, we're 3 and 7. That's like the opposite of what we had like yesterday when we had these really great runs. This table is just not doing it for us. So come on, man. Now, bailed us out on the very last spin last time. Let's hope we can bail us out this time. And it doesn't. Unbelievable, man. All right. Here it is. This is our last bet. Then again, we'll go to 5 double streets. Now, the thing about it is when I go to recover, I don't really care that I get up to 810. My recovery, my objective is to get to water level here. Okay, my objective is to get to water level. Anyway, after the AI scrub, I noticed it kind of made my voice sound kind of funky. Oh my gosh. This is insane. This table sucks today. All right, 1, 2, 3, boom, boom. We're gonna go $5 here. Let's see if we can get a couple hits here. I'm playing 5 double streets deja vu, meaning I'm covering the last double street to hit, leaving the other double street in that same dozen open, covering the remainder of the double streets. And remember, if you flip back and forth between French and not, which the French table is actually better for the strategies that we're playing today because you get half back on 0, but I wanted the speed today. Probably a bad decision, right? All right, here we go, here and here. I wanted the speed because I was playing with 30-cent units, 90-cent bets. I wasn't really too concerned about it, the amount that I was getting back on 0. Although when you get up to like $14, that $14 bet, on Controlled Chaos, you got 2 units on the outside, 1-to-1, 1 unit on the 2-to-1 bet. So you get 2/3 of your bet back. If it hits 0, you get 5% of that. Or excuse me, 50% of that. So 2/3 of your bet is sitting on the outside, and you're going to get half of that back. So that's huge. And on here, right, we're getting 3/5 of our bet is sitting on the outside, and we would get 50% of that 3/5 back. Blah, blah, blah. So anyway, all right, let's keep going. I'm excited about this. Let's see if we can get recovered first. I got a couple comments I want to go over, and I want to reiterate, I am live streaming, and I'll be picking it up again. I used to live stream every single day, 7 days a week. And then I got burned out. I dropped it to 5 days a week, and that was much better. But then I just started getting burned out as well. Bigger bets, trying to get people to do signups and just trying to rack out my brains. When we got, for those of you who don't know it, way back last year, oh, that was a whack. Thanks a lot. All right. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and double it. We were the victim of what's called malicious flagging, means people go to your videos and they just hit the thumbs down or they flag it as a violation. And Google actually contacted me, and we've been dealing with our channel being flagged. And finally, actually, Google contacted me and was like, hey, we see this table has been cruel, ever so cruel. All right. We are pretty much in the same position we were yesterday. Man, this thing has just kicked our butt today, huh? That's how it goes. But at least I have my 250, which is, I'm comfortable with that. That's my 250. I'm comfortable if that's what we hit. I don't like it, but that's my limit. I'm not going to go back to the well. I'm not going to do anything like that. So, all right, there's that. Now we're going to go stay here. And all right, we're gonna go up there. Now after this one, 45, after this one, I'll press our bets with 5 units. And then after this, we'll add another 5 units. So it'll be a $30 hit. And we can just pray our fingers, pray our fingers. We can just pray that it doesn't, we don't get a whack and that we can climb out yesterday. So far, so good. All right, we're going to rebet. I hate when these things come up and they block the chips. It's just a terrible design. Okay, so I got a couple comments I'm going to show you, but I'm going to wait till we get out of here. But a reminder, I'm live streaming on kick.com and YouTube. Okay, but if you want to be eligible, we have just got our ass handed to us in less than, I didn't even get the timer. The software says 11 minutes. We got completely wiped. I should have gone back and seen Control Chaos when we decided to switch over to 5 double streets. What would have happened? But we just got our biscuit completely wiped. I couldn't believe this table just hated us today. Oh my gosh. That's how it goes. You know what? That's how it goes. I'm going to take my $35.20, take my basketball, sulk, and go home. I'm going to do the walk of shame, and we'll have to save the comments. I'm actually going to cancel, so this is going to be a day, and then maybe this evening I'll come back and I'll do the next day because we only barely got through one session. That sucks. All right, so that's it. We lost $214.80. That's how it goes. We'll I'm going to shake it off and come back, and I'm going to keep playing. Like I'm very comfortable with my bankroll. I'm going to keep playing the same days. As Van Morrison said, there'll be days like this. So chin up if you are in that same boat. If it hits you, just keep at it. Keep the plan, stick to the course. We're going to have way more good days than we are bad days. We just got to make sure that we really take advantage of those good days. All right. I'll see you guys probably later on today. All right. Be good humans. Us against the casinos always. Chin up. Stay the course. Cheers. What's up, Roulette Fools? Brent with AOB. Day 62. We took a beating yesterday. We took a real beating yesterday. $214.80 was our loss yesterday. But the good news is our overall balance is still $919.94. Remember, I told you when you lose, what I like to do is it's okay to lose, right? But then you want to stair step above where your profit high was, period. So if we look up here, you can see we were at a $1,012 balance. We lost $175. Then we went above that. We were at $1,134. Then we had a little bit of a loss. Now we're at $919. So we're stair stepping up in the wrong direction. All right, let's get going. Okay, or we're going in the right direction, I should say. Okay, I given my permission on this $250 balance that I've given myself to play with to do whatever I want, because I still feel very confident in our bankroll. And so I'm going to be very, very aggressive today on this session, and most likely a lot of 5 double streets, but we'll see how it goes. All right, we're going to start with $5 units. I'm going to put 3 units on high. I'm going to put 1 unit on the first double street here, and we're going to leave. We're going to continue playing 5 double street Deja Vu, and cross our fingers and hope for the best. I actually have my mom watching right here, but she won't come on camera. She's being a so I'll probably drag her over here before too long. So yeah, I unbelievable. First, come on, man. All right, here we go. I'm gonna be very aggressive. We're already up to a $80 bet here. 20, whoa. This isn't right. Are my ratios right? No, my ratios are not right. That's supposed to be $45 down there. This is only a 2-to-1 ratio. We need a 3-to-2 ratio here. So we're screwy. This should be $60 down here. I don't know. Not paying attention again. Okay, but it works out for us because we made even more money. All right, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to cover 2 units on here. And I'm going to, I was going to double it up and go even higher. But so that was a happy accident. And I've got some quotes from some, or not quotes, but comments from the previous videos. And a couple of those are really great. I'm going to bring up those quotes here in just a second and talk about them. But again, we're live streaming on kick.com and YouTube. But if you want to participate in giveaways, you'll need to be on Kick, because we draw the winners out of the comments on Kick, and we can't do Kick and YouTube at the same time. So if you're watching on YouTube, just head on over to Kick. And plus, YouTube doesn't allow us to play real music from the radio, right? Radio music. And we have to watch our scenes because we can't show any kind of logos and stuff. On Kick, it doesn't matter. We can play. So we play real music over there, and I don't have to worry about my scenes over there. So it's just an easier going maintenance. All right, let's go. This is a fast speed, so I'm gonna have to pull up these quotes real quick. But this first quote from somebody said, from Today Shamur, if I had a 100K bankroll with my working class mindset, I'd aim to make $1,000 a day, or 20 to 30,000 a month is beautiful. Unfortunately, I'm waiting till I have that to start with the aim of making 10% once or twice a day. Got to start somewhere, right? That is absolutely 100% right. Look at these. It's hitting this in the same spot. Look at this. 14, 16, 17, 18. These two double streets. That's exactly right. So a couple things, and I'll bring this back up real quick. Here's what I like about this. Number one, I like that we talked about setting your bar high. Don't set it really low. You may not, it's okay to shoot for the stars here. So you're aiming for a $100,000 bankroll. I like that a lot. Now, the $20,000, $30,000, remember I was telling you, even though that's only 10%, right, of what he's talking about, we talked about that as the numbers get bigger, as your bankroll gets bigger, it's harder and harder to make that 10%. 10% is very aggressive. So my suggestion is, when you get to that $100,000, when we do this challenge and you're following along and you get to that $100,000, start reducing your percentage as your daily nice to have target. Don't increase it or keep it high, because you want to protect that bankroll. And if you keep it at 10% or whatnot, that's just very, very, you can end up losing a lot, right? And you don't want to take a step back once you get up that far. So I like everything about that. I like that you set a really nice high target for yourself. You were aiming for the stars. I like that a lot. Once you get to 100,000, you're talking about making 20, 30,000. Maybe look, if you were to make 500 a day instead of, the 1,000 or whatnot, you're still making 15,000 a month, right? So you could even bring that down to $300 a day. Wow, look at this double streak just hitting. 13, 17, 18, 17, 16, 14. So just start thinking about that. With a $100,000 bankroll, you can do your $300 a day really easily. That gives you $9,000 a month, and then you can kind of step it up from there. But just something to think about when you get there. But I like it. I like it a lot. All right, let's move over. So again, we're playing 5 double streets. I call it deja vu, right? Because we're going to cover the last double street that hit. Deja vu, like, hey, haven't I been here before? Yeah, I've been here before. I was here the very last spin. Deja vu. Someone corrected me. Was it Ben? Did you correct me, Ben? Correct me on deja vu. It's just a name, man. We're just having fun. All right, so let's see how we go. There we go. All right, we had one blip. We're 9-1. We're at $60 already. And we're 6 minutes in, so we're making roughly $10 per minute, because this spins roughly every 30 seconds. So we're getting 2 spins per minute on this. I want to show you another quote here. This is for I Am Sherry Ann. Hey, Brant, still trying roulette. Haha, Baccarat right now is my game. It used to be dice. Oh, so was mine. I really, I got to come back to it. Let's place our next bet. 30. Wait a second, 24. What happened? Bet was rejected. I don't know why my bet was rejected, and it's still stuck here at this 24 number. I don't know what's going on. It gave us $5 here. All right, well, I'm glad it was rejected because it hit a 0 just now. So the last one we hit was 24. I don't know what happened on that last one. We didn't even bet. All right, there we got 3 units there. So let's get back to this this comment. I really want it to be roulette instead of baccarat and dice. You have, let me bring our counter clock up here. You have so many strategies. Can you suggest 3 I would use? Okay, that's the first part. And we just hit a 12. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1 unit there, 1 unit there. Can I suggest a strategy? 3 strategies that you would like to use to get started on roulette. Every time I try roulette, it just hates me. Just like my last session I did, right? Where I just lost $200. Then I just end up going back to baccarat. So going to just try to hone in on some strategies that you would suggest. That's a great question. That's a question I get a ton of the same thing. So you're not alone in that. That's a very common one. So number one, what I would suggest is starting with a low bankroll, maybe $100 if you can get it. Do what we did on this series, right? We started out with 100. Now I'm almost at $1,000. So that's what I would suggest. To get started on that, what I would suggest you do is work from the outside to the inside. In other words, these outside bets right here, these are 1-to-1 bets. You can play them with just 1 unit. Play really, really small. Play 1 unit there. And let me get this over here real quick. So this covers 18 numbers. I don't like going below that, so I'm not going to recommend to you to play a single dozen, 12 numbers, but play 18 numbers. And now just follow me on this. From 18, I would also then start venturing out to the dozens, 2 dozens. So you've gone from 18 number coverage to 24 number coverage. From the 24 number coverage, right, then you can go to, say, 9 streets, which is 27 number coverage, and then 5 double streets, which is 30 number coverage. So you're kind of stepping up your coverage. Now, you could get rid of the 9 street or the 5 street because one's 27 and one's 30, gives you that. But here's why. Having played with all those different coverages from half to 2/3 to, almost the entire board minus 6 numbers, 7 numbers, if you ever run into another strategy, someone gives you, hey, Sherry Ann, go play this strategy. It's the best thing since sliced bread, right? Guaranteed you can't lose, which anytime someone tells you guaranteed can't lose, you're going to win 100% of the time, don't walk, run, right? Get away from it. That's just not true. So if you look at a strategy, let's just say you're watching another channel and you see them playing this strategy, and let's just say it's a 14 number strategy. They're doing something that's covering only 14 numbers. Because you now have experience playing 18, 24, 27, 30 number coverages, you can kind of already have an idea of the risks and the rewards of a 14 number system, right? Same thing if someone wants to give you a 20 number system or a 24 number system, you played 2 dozens, you kind of have an understanding of what the pitfalls are on 24 number system, what kind of recovery options you have, whether you're going to 3x it or 2x it multiple times. And then, that was our first, no, we did win that. All right, here we go. Just to catch everybody up here, so everybody knows what I'm doing. I'm still playing 5 double streets, right? 1 through 18 here covers 1, 2, 3 double streets. So I got 3 units here. We're going to leave 19 through 24 open. There are 2 double streets in this third dozen. So I'm just putting 2 units on the dozen, right? So this is just another way, a little bit faster way of playing 5 double streets. All right, we're going to go there. We're going to cover this one this time, this one. So that's why I like that, Sherry Ann, because you're starting. Plus, like I said, the outside bets only need 1 unit. 2 dozens only need 2 units. When you start getting to 9 streets, that's 9 units minimum bet. When you start to get to 5 double streets, that's 5. So I suggest getting comfortable on the outside, working yourselves on the inside until you feel really comfortable. But more importantly, by that time, any other strategies you play out there for the most part, it just gives you an idea, right? You're going to have experience playing a similar coverage type system, and it just gives you a little better foundation for trying out different things. All right, hopefully that makes sense. And then we've got Vamps. Vamps been around for a long time. Vamps, a member of our community, member of Casino Matchmakers community. Sorry, I got to get back here. 28. We're going to put a bet here and a bet here. So Vamp's been around a long time. So annoyed at myself. I was $6 above my daily goal. Forgot that it should be treated as a business. Lost on a no boss dozen strategy. You're not alone on that. I heard a lot of people are. Lost on a no boss dozen strategy. I'm going to expand this out a little bit. Tried to recover and busted my daily allowance of 7.5% of my bankroll, or $55. Could have recovered, Let me come back to it. Sorry, this is a speed table, so probably wasn't the best time to show. God, get down here. Couldn't pull it down there. So that's a screwy bet here. So it should have 2 units on this dozen. So if it hits anywhere, I'm going to be upset at myself because I couldn't get that bet in on time. I should only read comments when I'm playing at a normal table, not these fast tables, because I don't have enough time to read your comments. Okay, you know what? We would have lost there anyway, so we lost fewer units. So that was actually another blessing in disguise there, another happy accident. All right, let's bring it back up, Vamps. Could have recovered with my usual 9 street bets, but went so far down, didn't have enough progressions to get out of the dip. New day, new me, and going to be following the rules. I love everything about that. Number one, you had your playable balance at 7.5%. So you already, you did it right there, right? You didn't just have your whole balance in there and just degen down the hole. You limited yourself to losing 7.5%. Number two, I'm glad that you are going, okay, I'm not going to continue chasing. I'm glad the story didn't go. So I went back to my vault. I pulled out even more money and I lost even more. You stopped right there. You took time to kind of think about it, and you're going to come back and take that, that's yesterday's news, right? So we don't care what happened yesterday. You're not going to look at that loss from yesterday. You're not looking to make up that loss. Just forget it. Like my $200, I'm not even looking at that $200 loss from yesterday. I just said, today I'm going to play aggressive. I don't plan on getting the entire $200. In fact, I'm about ready to stop. So my plan was, and I'll come back to what Vamps is saying, and this is along the lines of what Vamps is saying, I gave myself permission to play aggressive on this first session of this day. Then second and third session, I'm going to play conservatively. And depending on how those go, if I do really well, I give myself permission at the end of that third session, or if I decide to do a fourth session to maybe do cash and burn, right? Cash and burn meaning whatever profit I made in that session only, I allow myself permission to go ahead and bet big on that, risk that up if I want to. Okay. So, we're at 1452. Let's see if we can go for one more, which is, you guys know that's the worst thing to do, right? Just one more. That was my dad's favorite saying, just one more cast. Just one more cast. We go fishing. He would be the last person on the boat. Just one more cast. Just one more cast. I remember one time we were drifting this river called the John Day, and you're fishing all day because you're drifting down the river and you're fishing all day. Oh, look at this. One last cast, and what happens? We get whacked on a 0. I should have stopped. Anyway, so we're floating down, we're drifting. We're usually going out there for like 3 days. We're drifting all day, fishing all day to your heart's content. And then we pull up on the bank to camp, set up camp, still fishing that whole evening. Most of us, by the time the light starts going down, we're like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done fishing. I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed. Not my dad. My dad's out there. And I will never forget. He's out there. That was a 30. Hold on. Let's get this one and this one. So my dad and I are sharing a tent, and Uncle Eric, close family friend, Eric and like Harry or something are in a tent over there. And I'm like, I wake up and my dad's not in the tent. And I hear this, oh my gosh, you got to come see this. And I'm like, what is going on here? So I rush outside to see, okay, is something bad happening? My dad's fishing. Mind you, it's like 2 a.m. Okay. It happened to be a full moon. But you can't see anything. And he's over there fishing. And I go down there. I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, look at this. I caught a frog. I'm like, you just yelled out to the entire camp, come down here and take a look at it because you hooked a frog. That's my dad. He loved to fish. You could not get him off the water, man. It was awesome. It was awesome. So we did get the hook out of the frog was barely hooked. We did get the hook out of the frog, and I helped him let the frog. It was actually a big old bullfrog or whatever. So that was my dad. Just one more cast. And that sort of became a thing in our family. Just one more cast. Anyway. All right. We're going to stop right here. I'm going to come back for a second and third session. We're up $120. Awesome. So the next 2 sessions, I'm going to come back, play way more conservatively. That way, if we start getting on a little bit of a loss, I'm not going to go below the profit we already made. So we're playing with house money right now. but we're just going to kind of build on that and see how far we can go playing a little bit more conservatively. All right, I'm going to go take a break. I'll be back and we'll hit our second session. Cheers. Okay, fools, we are back for our next session. It hit a 24. So we are going to continue playing 5 double streets. I'm going to start with a $5 unit, and then I'm dropping my units down. We're already at $120, which is actually almost 3x what our nice to have is, right? $46 was our nice to have. That's our nice to have target, okay? We're already there. We're over double that, 2.5 times that. So can I risk this and keep my bets high and really hope to? Yes, but I'm not going to. I'm going to drop my bets down. So now we're going to go down to dollar units. I'm going to keep playing the same way, except I'm going down to dollar units. Instead of a $25 bet, we're going down to a $5 bet total. Instead of $5 profit per spin, we're going down to $1 profit per spin. So I'm going to bring this down and I'm going to modulate my bets, but I'm not going to go up to $5 units. I might modulate my bet to a $2 or $3 unit. So again, we're covering 30 numbers. We're covering everything from this 7 all the way to the 36. We're covering all these numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 0. If the ball lands on that, like it just did right here on 5, we lose. All right. And it's a good thing that we dropped our bets down, right? So I'm going to go here, and the nice thing about bringing our bets down is I can be more aggressive on my recovery bets. So instead of 3xing, I'm 4xing my bet. I can 4x it here. And then on the next bet, I have a choice of bringing it down to 1 unit or 2 units, depending if I want to break exactly even or if I want to go up on my second hit. So that's the really nice thing about bringing it down. You can be more aggressive if you want to. Now, like I said, we're up $120. We will not go below that $120 profit. So worst case scenario, we lose the profit that we made today, but we're not going to eat into our bankroll that we started out the day with. Okay. So we're in a really good spot. And this is basically like the twister strategy, right? Where we start and you make money and then you're going to just play with nothing but the house money for the rest of the session. And it's sort of the opposite of cash and burn. Cash and burn is you build up your profit and then you say, you know what, all that profit I just made, let's risk it for the biscuit, all down. So twister and cash and burn are sort of opposite of each other, but basically the same concept. It's just a matter of when do you do that. All right, we're going to go here and here. So we recovered and went up 1 base unit because we 4x the first one, we 2x the second one, we're up 1 unit. So I just got done with a lengthy conversation with my mom explaining how this works. It was a long conversation, over and over and over again. But I think we finally got it. Until the next conversation. Then over and over and over again. So, but it is sort of a hard concept to kind of understand if you don't see what's happening here and going, oh, this is weird. I mean, so you can see there's these other tables. My mom's sitting right here. You see these other tables here? Mm-hmm. Those all have their own camera. So when we go to the main lobby screen and you saw all those little grids with tables, those are all these tables right here. You can choose your own table. So we finally got clear on what a dealer is and that the dealer isn't making money other than the hourly pay. So the dealer's just an employee spinning it. Some of you feel like they're rigged and there's magnets in here and it's playing against you. Some people feel that way, because when we lose, like the last day where we lost, it'd be so easy to go, oh, it's rigged. It's got magnets because we had a bad session. But that's just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you just get losses in a row. And that's why progressions are life. If you want to live on the wild side, you got to accept the fact that you're going to have days where you're going to get completely rinsed with your playable balance. If you play conservatively and have plenty of progressions that give you the chance of you getting rinsed is far lower because you have 10 progressions. I only had a couple progressions, right? And I don't have that, the allowance to lose more than that. So It's safer. So that's what I was trying to explain to my mom is you can choose. She was asking, well, how do I choose the bet size? How do I choose the type of strategy? And that's the whole purpose of this video series, right? Is to show you different strategies, different bet amounts. What can happen if you bet bigger? We get up $120 like that. But yesterday we lost $220 just like that, right? So you got to find that compromise in between. And as I said a million times, though, if you play too conservatively, oh man, I was hoping it was going to hit that 34 again. I'm telling you, these tables love those high numbers. Okay, that was a 6. 1, 2, 3. Going here. Now I'm in hurry up mode because I'm used to the speed table. Now we're on this regular table. It's like I could go make a sandwich and come back and still have time to make my bet. I'm used to that thing going around so fast now that we're on a normal speed table. I was trying to think. Someone else had mentioned a question, sent me a DM, and I was going to share it with you guys, but I don't remember what it was. I got too many things going on in my head right now. So I gotta do better about writing those things down. Again, as a reminder, I will be picking a shadow player who will be able to shadow me, and I will fund that account. We'll play it together. And then at a certain point, I will turn over that account to you. And now you have an account that's pre-funded for you. Okay. So I'm going to start doing a drawing for those. And ultimately, I would love to get it if I could get like 3 or 4 people on at the same time. Schedules are going to be a little bit difficult because I know a lot of you guys are all over the world and time zone difference and stuff, but we'll just have to make it work. You may have to stay up till 4 in the morning if you want to play. Right? All right, there we go. 3 there, 2 here. We've got 3 units on high, 2 units on the first dozen. Same thing as 5 double streets. We're leaving 13 through 18 exposed. These are our whacks plus 0. Who knows? Maybe today, maybe we'll go play a little gladiator. Maybe I'll throw gladiator with just a couple dollar bets, because man, there's nothing more exciting when the gladiator, when you hit a 0, 2, or 3 and get that 3x banger in there. So, all right, let's go. We're at 7 minutes. You know what? We started at $120 in this session and we're at $133. So I'm telling you that, let's see, was that the same? Yep. That was a 24. Okay. I'm telling you, you don't have to bet big to keep going. Look we've already made $13 in this session. Now, considering $46 is our nice to have target goal, we're already hitting $13. This session alone is enough if we were to play 3 or 4 sessions to get us there. So even though we're bringing our bets down, we're still making really, really good progress and money right here, and just no stress. I've got no stress whatsoever here because I know I'm not going to go below $133. And the worst I'm going to lose is a little bit of time. Now, I'm deciding this well ahead of the next session, session number 3. I'm deciding how aggressive do I want to go. And I think what I'm falling on is I think I'm going to do both twister and cash and burn. So what I mean by that is with cash and burn, I'm going to start with cash and burn at the beginning of the 3rd session, which means, and I don't have to use all the profit, but I'm going to go in with a fairly large bet right off the bat. And I might do 2 of those. And then from there on, I'm going to pocket the remaining balance. So I'm only going to use the balance that I make from those couple of big hits. I'm going to use the balance from those. And that way we lock in whatever balance we end at the end of this session. Let's say it's $140. If I'm able to come back in the 3rd session, bet a couple good bets, and let's say we get up $50. Let's say I do $25 unit for 5 double streets and I do 2 spins or 3 spins and make $50 or $75. I won't go below that $50 or $75. I'll have to play with that the rest of the 3rd session. Now we're guaranteed this profit right here. But the downside, right? All it takes is 1 loss when you do that. And then you wipe out this beautiful, this is a really nice looking graph right here. So not crazy about doing that, but we'll see what happens. All right. Reminder, Vegas Super Bowl weekend. Be great to have some people down there. I truly, at one point, I hope that when I hit my $1.5 million, I really want to have a really cool shindig down there and do some giveaways for an all-inclusive trip for people to come down there. So that was, and I mentioned that way back when I started. I hope to get to that point where, I can have the mods come down and pay for their trip, and I can do some giveaways for people to come down and have an all-inclusive trip. Look at this. Hitting, we like that. We like that. So, and I think I must have screwed up at one point. No, I didn't. Yeah, because it hit 1 and then 9. So we should have lost on this 9 if we were covering the 1 and not covering the 9. So I screwed up somewhere, and again, it saved us from a loss. But that's all right. That's all right. Okay. Let's see. And again, thank you for the kind words. I know that I just got so many things I want to say, and it's going all in my mind. I got to do a better job. I'm going to try to do better of taking a few minutes to jot down some notes as I go. Wow, look at this. 9, 11, 7. Just look at this. 20, 24, 22, 7, 11, 9. That's some repeating going on. Yes, she's my favorite. All right. I'll do a better job of documenting and writing some things down so I remember, because there were already 2 things I wanted to tell you guys and I've already forgotten. So let's go. The other thing, that I see some players do that I think is not a good plan. And it's like this. You have your bankroll, you have your target, you get it all set up. Oh, she came back to hit us there. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to play the normal way there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go opposite. Last time, remember the last session I said, oh, I'm going to hit bet here and it's going to hit here now, and it did it. Maybe that was last session or yesterday or something. She's been hitting this 7, 11, 9 so many times in these last couple spins. I would rather lose hitting 31, 36 than playing deja vu and losing on the 7 through 12 after a hit. So it doesn't matter if I lose here, but if it hits here, I'll feel really good. Oh, of course she did. But that's all right. I would rather lose down there than have it hit here and be like, why did I stay there? All right, I'm going in. So this is a big bet here. This is $80. Man, the casino gods, they are cruel sometimes, man. They're cruel. So see, history, it's all in our mind, right? We're just getting lucky that it's hitting these things. I just totally went, oh, well, look at the history of the board. Let's move. And we get whacked. So you just never know. The wheel has no memory. We get it, but we're still going to play this way. We like, oh my gosh, she is after us. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, we're going to push the limits here. We're going to push the limits. I'm going to win 1 at this level, and let's see where we're at, because we're still in profit. So I'm not going to go above that. If we win this one, we got another $32. Yeah, that'll put us at what, $65? That'll be nice. Where's our high? 137. Okay. So I was going to pile on to this bet. Oh my gosh. Human seed. All right, there we go. All right. Now we're going to go down to $25 bet. $25 unit bet. And go there. And now watch. Now watch. Our open area, our Achilles heel is 7 through 12. Now watch. If she hits 7 through 12, rigged. Magnets, 100%. Okay, good. All right, we're at $90 at 17. Let's go down to $5 units here. $5 units there. So, gosh darn it. And I was just about ready to tell you guys another thing that I was thinking of, and now I've forgotten. But anyway, I'll try to do better about writing those things down. Let's recap on some of the things that we've talked about here. You guys know all about the discipline. You guys know about the short sessions. You know about bankroll management with your we went down. All right. Remember punches and bunches? Punches and bunches. We were doing so well, then boom, she's now just nailing us here. Anyway, so I'm going to try to get all these things down onto and then ultimately on our site. But I just remember I told you talking out loud, that's what helps me. Maybe it does you, but maybe it doesn't. Writing it down is great. Just put those rules. It really helps to put those rules that we're going to live by to either recite them over and over and over. And it doesn't have to be, I'm not talking like some formal thing, like you're doing a chant in a room and you have your whole family with candles and, pentagram on the floor and thou shalt not degenerate chase losses. Thou shalt play with 10% bank, nothing crazy like that. Just remind yourself when you sit down to play, remind yourself. I told you this before in a video, maybe a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, maybe 5 months ago. I don't remember, but I said, pilots, every time I fly, I don't just go, I've done this a bunch of times. I'm just going to get in the plane and I'm going to go. We have checklists, literal checklists. And even though I know these checklists, like they're the back of my hand written right there, we always go through the checklist because one, it's a very dangerous thing if you don't, right? We're up in the air. You can't afford mistakes. Same thing here. And you've seen me make mistakes here because I'm talking and I'm around. So it's nice to have that checklist. I don't know, pin it to the side of your monitor, something to remind you, oh man, you know what? We screwed up. We were supposed to cover this 7 here instead of here. And we didn't. We got the win. You're just talking about checklists and paying attention here. I'm doing it. I'm not. But just get that checklist. I think have something visually that you, just like your vision board, right? I told you, get a vision board together. Put what your idea is of where you'd like to see yourself, whether that's 5 years, 10 years, whatever that is, get that on there. For me, for a long time, twice in a row, nice. What I really wanted to do is, we're going to take a little bit of chance here. I really, really, really wanted a nice motorhome and have my house as my base, but I really wanted to tour the United States. So that goes on my vision board, and maybe I'll either have an RV there. For me, I might on my vision board, I might have an RV, but what I would like to see is like mountains and really cool camping areas and stuff like that. That's my ideal, but, and I'm still going to do it. And I'll get there when it's ready. Look at that. Booyah. Okay. We're going back down to 5. Where are we at? 1758. You know what? I'm not going to place this bet. Last spin curse. Let's just get off of here. All right, that's it. I'm going to come back for one more session. I'm going to fine tune exactly what I'm going to play, how I'm going to play this with our remaining 125. Our high here was 138. So we've done a really good job of rebounding back here, luckily. So I'm going to come back. I think I am going to do cash and burn and then twister, and we'll go over that again when I come back. All right, see you in a few minutes. All right, fools, we're back. We got a new dealer, and I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to hope on a new dealer. Coming right into it. We're going right in. We're going to do crash and burn. Cash and burn. I've got $125 there. I've got $125 profit or a bet. So I've got I'm betting exactly how much we have. Now, we're far enough along at where we're at here. Now we're over 2 months, right? That I feel okay playing the way that I want to play, and that you guys know the difference in the different types of play, right? I'm riskier. I don't mind taking more chances. That fits with me. You have to take the tenets and figure out what works for you within those rules of the road, right? And for some of you, you're very meticulous. You're going to stick with this. I'm only going to bet a certain amount. I'm going to do it's all off of percentages. And I like that. And to be quite frank, I think as a group, those of you that are super meticulous and play this nice balance between not being ultra conservative, but not being very risky, I think overall in the long run, you actually do better. That group will end up doing the best. All right. I'm going to go down to $5 units just because I don't trust this end of the board. I don't know when it hits in here. I don't know. So we're going to go down there. And then what I'm going to do is we left here at what? We left here at $125, right? So I'm going to take the difference between 125 and whatever profit we have when I say, okay, we're done. And we're just going to play with just that profit so that we're locked in at $125, but not until I'm done with the cash and burn portion of this. Then we'll do Twister and just play with that profit. It's nice because I guarantee myself I'm going to walk away with $125 no matter what. Okay, that's good. 180. I'm going to give us a couple more spins here. Let's go ahead and go for $200. I'm going to go to $200. That gives me $75 to play with and do whatever I want with and still lock in the 125. So let's see if we can get a couple more hits here. We're at 241. Maybe we don't even go that far. If we win this one, we're $15 away. Maybe I'll do one last bet because I don't want to wait till the very end before we go, okay, now we're going to play Twister. Then we might as well just play this whole session as cash and burn, right? So I want to let's see if we can get just this spin and one more spin. If we can, there we go. All right, I'm going to 3x it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. All right, so we got a $75 bet. If I win $15, that gets us 200. Then lights out. We have $75 max to play with, which is a nice bankroll. You think about it, $75. We started out with $100. For this session alone, my surplus above our surplus is 3/4 of what it was when we first started. That's how far we've come, right? So look at it that way. We had a member in our Discord. Oh, you had to. You just had to. You just had to, didn't you? Last bet. I knew it. Ugh. All right. You know what? Luckily, I'm still in the cash and burn phase. Screw it. Let's go. We're going to go. Now, we lost $75 just now. This gets us 50. If I lose this, I have 110 balance left. It'll be another losing session. I'll walk away. And you know what? I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I gave myself permission to do this, so I'm okay with it. And I'm okay. And the reason I'm okay with it is because I'm comfortable that with the bankroll I have plenty to get us back to where we need to go above where we were before. I feel very comfortable with that. So, all right, there's one. That's 8. Let's go 25. Let's see if we can grab another one here. So that was 50. This would get us back even with where we just left off, right? 160, yeah, 185. So let's see if we can grab this one. Anyway, just again, over and over and over, figure out which strategies, which style works best for you within that. That's just a framework that I work on. So you can adjust that framework for you. But JJ in our said, he's doing the 100 to 10,000, but instead of doing 100 to 10,000 challenge, he's breaking it up into milestones. So his first challenge is a 100 to 200 challenge. And I like that. Well, here we are again. Didn't they do it to us last time? All right, here we go. Here, right here. And we're at 185. I'm just going to leave it at $5. And we're going to call this the last one. 190. Then we're done with cash and burn. Yeah. All right. So anyway, he said, I think going from 100 to 10,000 is too daunting. It's this big goal way off in the distance. I'd rather set small marker milestone, achievements. I'm going to go 100 to 200. I don't know exactly what the things were, but then maybe 200 to 500, 500 to 700, something along those lines. And I like that. That's much in the way. Actually, nope. Let's get the 200. Let's get the 200. Let's go for it. If I lose this one, we stop and we'll just do low bets. I won't even chase this one. If we lose this $50, we'll be at $140, right? That's still above where we were. And then we'll just play lower and slower. I'd like to go back out and do controlled chaos because it kind of, but I'll go, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Or I think we'll just go outside Marty Plus. And if we do outside Marty Plus, I'm going to play two different strategies. I'll show you what I'm talking about with triggers. Anyway, I like that idea. I think that's a phenomenal idea. It's actually what we talked about here. This is why we have this nice to have daily target. If you remember, I was talking about just focus on what's right here. And you got to be kidding me, lady. You got to be kidding me, lady. All right, let's go. Unbelievable. All right, we're going to go down to dollar units. And we're going to go here. All right, let's just do dollar units for a bit. But that's why I would say just focus on what you have today. Forget about what happened yesterday. Forget about the 10,000. It'll come. Just focus. So I like what he's doing, and do that. If that helps you, break it up like that. It's a great way to do it. For me, it's okay because I'm not even thinking about the 10,000. That's our ultimate, because that 10,000 is our first milestone for me. That's our first milestone, our big first milestone. Okay, there we go. I thought she was going to hit us on 0, man. All right, let's rebet, and then I'm going to move to the outside. Because remember, this is a life plan we're doing. We're changing. We're going to be making some major changes in how we do things moving forward, right? We want to get away from that grind. We want to get away from the 9 to 5. We want to do something we actually enjoy doing that we can do anywhere where we have internet connection, our laptop, you get it. We set our own hours. If we want to take vacation days and not play, we take vacation days and not play, right? So that's our goal. So to me, that 10,000, that's really not a very far away thing if you think about it. It seems, oh my gosh, the Steeler. Punches and bunches. Holy Toledo. All right, she's not doing well by us. Let's get this back. That'll just recover us, and let's move to the outside. Let's forget 5 double streets. But we were at 100. We're at 1,000, roughly at 1,000 now, right? We've 10x'd it in 2 months. Now, am I saying we're going to 10x again and go from 1,000 to 2,000 or 10,000 in 2 months? Maybe, because our profits are going to start growing. But you will see when you start doing this that it gets a little bit more difficult to stay disciplined, to see your bets get bigger and not want to follow through, right? So you'll see it's a little bit more difficult. All right, we're going down to 50-cent units, and we're going to play Follow the Winner Marty Plus. As much as I want to go in on this, even though I gave myself full autonomy to go do whatever I wanted, I'm going to go down here and we're going to leave because I really would like to walk away with here with at least $125 profit. And again, for me, if you're watching this going, man, he's playing really reckless. Yes and no. I've been here so many times. I know that even if I were to lose this bankroll second day at a time, go down 500, let's say my bankroll is around $600, I feel very comfortable with a $600 bankroll. Okay. Now, yeah, that's just me, but it's not ideal. But yeah, I do play. If this is a spectrum, this is super, super conservative and this is wild. I consider myself somewhere in the 70 out of 1 and 10. Let's go out of 1 to 10. I consider myself like 7. My threshold for risk though is a 10. I'd have no problem right now doing cash and burn several more times right now. I'd have no issue with it whatsoever. But I also want to sort of set a pseudo good example for you guys, right? So I'm having to resist the temptation of doing that because I feel like my chances are pretty good that I could easily go to $250 here. I could really run this thing up, but we're going to be happy with what we got. And if I have another session, I'll probably emulate this exact same session tomorrow. although this is our third session, I might go ahead and do a fourth session tomorrow, or excuse me, today. I might do a fourth session. So if we come back for a fourth session, maybe I will decide that we cash and burn it all the way and look to make some big strides. All right, they changed our view on us. Keep saying that. I don't know why it keeps saying slow internet. All right, but so far we're doing well. We keep winning on our Marty Plus. We have yet to lose, so we're doing all right. And we're making $50 a hit. Now remember, Martingale Plus, we're doubling plus 1 unit. So especially on these tables, these are spinning about, let's just say once every 45 seconds. If you go to the speed auto table and you play this, you can literally count 2 per minute. It's so easy to extrapolate when you're playing Marty Plus how much you'll win by the end of 1 hour if you were to play a full hour, right? Assuming you don't bust. And that's literally, there's 60 minutes, 2 spins a minute. That's 120. So 120 wins times whatever your unit size is. That should be right there where your profit is. It'll be a little off because it's not exactly that. You want to sit right here? All right, here we go. So we're just going to stay put right here and get a couple more wins, get this up. And yeah, we'll see what I decide to come back with on the fourth session, whether I decide, let's just go for it. Let's have some fun. And that's why I like those bingo cards that I showed you yesterday, because if you fill in whatever it is that you feel is the hardest things for you to do, that's what you want to put on that bingo card. What are the biggest challenges you have to staying disciplined, to staying on track, to not do these bad habits, whatever those are? Put those on your bingo card. And when you get those stamps done, give yourself a reward that's enough of a reward that you're like, yeah, that was great. That was a good reward. You know, I'm happy with that. Now I clear my card and I start again. So I kind of like that idea. It doesn't have to be a bingo card if you don't want it to be, but I think that's just a really good idea. You could have just one line. Maybe you have one line of 10 things and you have a thing, and every time you do one, you get 2. And when you get to the end of that 10, you've finished that, and they don't have to be all the same. Then you give yourself a reward, whether you decide that's going to be food or something, or you're going to make that around gambling. You're going to allow yourself to come in with $50 and play it any way you want with no regard to anything, whatever. Give yourself a nice little reward in there. Remember, along this trip, you got to take all the victories you get. Like today, I'm going to be celebrating today. We're up $144. You know, why wouldn't I? So take the time to celebrate the small victories and forget about the losses, right? Forget about the losses. If you think about those things, there's nothing good about dwelling on the loss you had yesterday, right? Other than a positive piece, which is, I'm not going to make those mistakes again. Now, if you just had unlucky spins, there's nothing you can do about it. Forget it. If you're confident in your strategy and you've been working, I'm confident in 5 double streets. I like it. I'm confident in the strategy I use. I know I'm going to have days where it doesn't matter where I place my bets, I'm going to lose. I mean, that just comes with the territory. So forget about that. There's nothing, but then focus on the good things. The more positive you have, the better it is. And again, we're just looking at what's right in front of our face. All right, one more win and we're out of here for this session. Just pay attention to what's right in front of you. Don't worry about that $10,000 end goal. If you keep doing this, I promise, you know, it's like this. I cannot believe my daughter is 24 years old. I can't believe she's 24 years old, right? And I close my eyes and I'm like, man, I literally, she was just born. And then literally I was coaching her soccer on Saturdays, right? Orange wedges at halftime. You guys get it. All that stuff. You know, my mom was coaching me. My mom was my soccer coach. We had a German Shepherd and bring the German Shepherd to practice. Big mistake. I'll tell you why that was a huge mistake on her part. Because the dog liked biting the soccer balls and put holes in all of our soccer balls. So now we're running around the field with deflated soccer balls. And we look over longingly at the other, 5-year-olds who were kicking a nice full soccer ball. And I was just like, I wish I were those kids, not playing with a flat ball that the dog has chewed on, patches coming off the soccer ball. We were on the wrong side of the tracks, folks. All right, I am going to come back for one last session, a fourth session, even though we're where we're at, and I'm going to decide what we're going to do with it. It might be just a really short session. It's not necessarily going to be a whole 15 minutes, but let's see what I do with it when I come back. All right, cheers. All right, team. Fourth and final episode. I decided I'm going to have fun with this. I'm going to kind of go for it. And life is short. So let's see what happens. I'm not going to go beyond what I have. In other words, I'm not going to go beyond this 145. So if we lose on this bet, it's 125, leaves us $20 profit, we're done. And so this fourth piece here could be a minute, and we're done, right? One and done. So we'll see what happens. So, and I'm okay with that. And if I lose this one, we're still up $20. That's all right. I'm all right with that. Like I said, I'm not worried about the loss we had yesterday. I'm not worried about where our bankroll is right now because it's plenty healthy. So that's me. And we don't know what's happening here. Booyah. There we go. 170, 4, 5. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. And now in my mind, the way my mind worked now is, all right, last time if we lost, we're going to be left with $20, right? Or whatnot. Now, if we lose, this is a 125. We have 170. You get what I'm saying? We're going to walk away with $45. So I'm like, hey, that was better than last time. So every time I bet this, I'm like, we're doing better. I mean, I'm walking away with $45. In my head, I'm going, we're doing a $45 session, which is our nice to have 5%. So even if I lose this one, we still hit our daily target today. I mean, I hope I don't lose this one, but there we go. Look at that. 195. All right, I'm going to bring it down to $5 bets. I'm going to bring it down to $5. So that's sort of how I work in my mind. When I place a big bet, I go, okay, if I lose this, I still have this much. And when I win it and I go big again, I go, well, now I have even more. So that becomes my bankroll down here. And I almost write off this bet right here as I'm going. Now we're only betting $25. So I have some leverage to plenty of leeway if I want to go beyond this. It's just the really big bets. It's a one and done if I lose the big bets. But I'm sitting here trying to think, if I hit $200, do I want to keep going? And the answer is probably not. Probably not. I mean, keep going in terms of really big bets. I don't think I will. I think we did our big bets twice, right? Two $125 bets. We're at $200. This is just icing on the cake now. And my commitment now is one loss if we're at a $5. Now, if I were to bring this down to $1 unit, I would do a whole 15 minutes, but I don't necessarily feel like I need, like I told you, this isn't a 15, that time box doesn't apply here. It's going to be 15 minutes or less, but it could be 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I can stop whenever I want and walk away. So again, a warning to you guys, as your bankroll starts getting bigger, if this is the first time or you're not used to this, you know the pitfalls around that. All right. There we go. So we're going to rebet and move this one out to here. The pitfalls of the bigger bankroll is it gives you a false sense of security, like you have unlimited progressions. You don't have unlimited progressions, okay? So stick with putting the money in your playable balance that you're willing to lose for that session. Call it quits, just like JJ did. Put in 7.5% of his bankroll. He lost it. Done. That's okay. Then you move on. You'll get that back. No problem. All right, let's go. I'm getting excited for my road trip too. I'm going to do that when I get back from Vegas. Oh no, man. Come on. All right. I'm just going to call it. I'm not going to call it there. Did I say I was going to call it on the 5? No, I said I'm on $25. 107. You know what? Let's go. 5, 10, 15. That's 50. All right, let's go. We're going to go with a $50 bet here. That's 2x. And obviously if I lose this one, then I'm 100% done. Because like I said, I don't want to go below the 120 that we were at when we started this session, right? Wasn't it 120? Or am I crazy? 145. So this is $50. It would take us down just a little bit, and then we would just be done if I lose this one. There we go. Okay. That's $5. And you know what? I'm going to go ballsy one more time. We want it because I've given my permission to use this entire amount. So I was going to go cash and burn and then twister. And then I decided I was going to make this a little bit shorter session. My initial plan was just to stick with $25 units that whole time and win like 5 times in a row and walk. But then after I won the twice in a row, I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. Let's just leave it at that. So my plan now is if I get lucky enough to win this one, I will bet just enough to make it to a nice rounded off number that looks good and go from there. Booyah. So we're at $222.50. We need $2.50. So what was that? A 1, 5, go to 50. Here we go. We got a $2.50 bet. If we win this one, we're at $225. Boom. A good session. And it keeps us going higher and higher. We stumbled. We're going up a little bit higher. Higher. Stumble, go up higher. That's just how it's going to go. I got to be honest with you guys. If you get really bent out of losing a session, right? If that's really, oh man, at least it was only $250 bet, right? All right, that was $250. So we're at $210. All right, here we go. If that's really hard on you is what I mean. If you get bent about it, if that's really hard on you, really stressful on you, having these losing sessions, I would probably tell you to really rethink playing and doing gambling because it's not worth your health, right? It's not worth your health. I've been stressed out a lot of times and I've taken some time off. So that's always an option for you. If you start feeling a little burnt, take some time off, man. Take some time off. Nothing's more important, than your health, your family, all that kind of stuff. This is certainly not worth that. So don't worry about that. All right, here we're going to go. And like I said, I took time off and stepping back. And even now I'm stepping back. I pretty much play this for the series and my live streams. And then I've been getting my daily targets that I set for myself every day, which for me with my bankroll right now, my minimum target is $3,000 a day. I normally try to get that first thing in the morning. And then I really haven't been playing much. And if I do play, I play the slot dice roulette, where I go play a slot. If it loses some money, I go play dice or roulette, win back that money, plus go up another 25 or $50. Go play another slot. And that's fun because then when you get a slot that pays, you can just go to the next slot. You don't have to go back and do anything else. Oh my gosh, this dealer. All right, this is our final bet. This is our final big bet. If we get this one, $25, that'll put us at 115 or 215. And then I will do one last bet. So this is a final bet at this amount. If I lose this one, we'll do a $10 unit bet, win, lose, or draw. Then it's complete. Then we are 100% done. So I've got 2 spins in me, possibly. If we lose this spin, we're done. And we still end up, look at this. We still end up, what's that? 40. What? That's $65. We're at 90. You yo-yo. $65. So we end up $65. All right, there's 215. Now we're going to go to $5 units. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, $2. $50 bet. We either walk away at 225 or we lose $50. Right? So not bad. At this point, I'm so relaxed. So anyway, if going back to that, if this causes you a lot of stress when you bet these and you're a nervous wreck and whatever, maybe this isn't it. Or find a way to do this where you're not a nervous wreck. In other words, forget the 3%, 5% a day. Who cares if it's a half a percent? Play with penny bets and just take your time and just get used to it. Start feeling this out. Boom, 225. You don't have to do the percentages at all. You don't have to worry about any of that. Just start playing until you get comfortable to the point where you're like, I don't care if I lose because I lost 50 cents, whatever that is for you. Maybe that's a better way, and it'll take you a little bit longer, but at least then all that money that you're making, when you finally do decide to up your bets, it's all house money, and hopefully you're able to let that go. All right. That was a lot of talking. I'm sorry. I feel like sometimes like I'm Billy Mays, with the ShamWow. Billy Mays with the ShamWow. It'll clean everything. And I don't mean to be. So, all right. Good session, good recovery, and overall a good looking graph. Look, we were only down below water level at the very, very beginning. Other than that, we stayed above the water line the whole time. So that's a really good looking graph in my book. So, all right, be good humans, stay the course, play the way that's right for you, not what's being told you to do from me or any other content creator or anybody out there. Play the way that's right for you. Feel free to adjust the rules. These are just my guidelines and my suggestions. Feel free to switch them up, make them so that they fit with you. It's all got to fit with you and who you are and all that kind of stuff. All right. Us against the casino always. And remember, play with disposable income right now. If you lose it, I don't want any of you having any lifestyle issues because you're playing with money that you can't afford to lose. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.